Dr. Hart. In December of 2015, I learned that women living with HIV and AIDS who have also experienced domestic violence or sexual assault have a 75% chance of dying a trauma-related death. That means that 75% of these women die of violence, overdose, or the lifetime physical impact of trauma, which often manifests as heart, liver, or kidney disease. In other words, I learned that these women were dying of pain. And I thought that we must be able to do something different for them. HIV and AIDS and domestic violence are twin epidemics fueled by the same cause: silence. It's not safe for most women to talk about their experience of violence. It is equally unsafe to talk about the HIV virus. Women are met with stigma, shame, family rejection, and a full 40% of them are met directly with violence when they disclose their status. How can these women begin to heal if they're not even able to speak their truth to somebody? I realized that for these women, when they met with a traditional social service provider, people who provide life-saving services like housing and like case management, these services were failing our population. And that's because this population suffers 5 times the national rate of post-traumatic stress disorder. They're extremely hard to be retained in care. And actually, if a woman contracts the HIV virus through violence, antiretroviral treatment has been proven to be less effective than the same medicine administered to a woman who has a similar weight and viral count, but who did not contract the virus through violence. Trauma is a direct barrier to care. The experience of domestic violence and sexual assault is a direct barrier to care. It is a direct blockage in the body to receiving treatment. So, when we see one of these women and we put her in housing and we pair her with traditional services, what actually happens is it's quite like a woman walking into the emergency room with a broken leg and a heart condition, and we cast her leg and send her back out. She can walk, but her heart is going to collapse, and it's going to happen soon. The Salon was created to treat the heart, and we do that in very innovative and very special ways. Our whole team, first of all, is trained in trauma-informed care, and you will be too, or you might already be if you've joined us. In addition to having an amazingly trained, dedicated, and compassionate staff, they are actually the first staff, as far as we can tell, in the whole world who has worked directly with this population. Last year, I began networking with researchers in different countries to see what services existed for women specifically who had HIV and AIDS and were affected by domestic violence. And while there were 13 behavioral interventions, 11 of which are in South Africa, there was no program, no actual house, no sanctuary for this population. When we hired our first team members, we let them know that we didn't have all the answers. In fact, we had many more questions than answers, but we knew that if we could work together, we could come up with a better solution for these women, which is why we're here today. I believe that it is possible for every person that we meet to recover from their trauma, given the right resources, which we have. On site, we have medical case management, a substance abuse counselor, an incredible program manager, social worker, 12 residential aides, a nurse practitioner, an RN, a full-time therapist, support groups, yoga, innovative substance use solutions inside the house. This home is designed to be a sanctuary, and it's designed to reach all of the parts that trauma silences. For women, for our women, we honestly believe that gender equity is HIV care. For us, that means that we treat women like women. We give people the opportunity to grow here, to become empowered here, to reclaim a voice that was taken from them in violence. We encourage self-expression. In fact, we have special instructors and workshops for that. We encourage pampering. We believe in women treating their bodies well. And in fact, if it's not so much that we teach a woman to take her medication, but that we teach her that her body is worth taking care of. And when she has that, when she cultivates those seeds of worth, which are the very thing that lies under the epidemics of HIV and AIDS and domestic violence, she finds that hers is a body worth taking care of. She understands that taking her medicine is a natural part of taking care of her body. We help women love themselves again, or we give them every tool we can so that they can come to that conclusion themselves. Additionally, we believe and we consider domestic violence to be homelessness. Now, I understand that this is a radical concept, but we believe that if a woman is living in a violent home, she is homeless. Homes are safe or they're not homes. So when we meet our residents, we take that into consideration. There's nothing stable about violence. Many different service providers have asked me how we determine if a woman has experienced trauma. For the HIV component, there's paperwork that we see, but for the trauma, it's entirely self-diagnosed. At the Salon, we believe a woman's story and we take her at her story. It's up to us to assess the level of trauma and meet her and help her. It's not up to us to have any questions. If a woman feels like she identifies with the experience of domestic violence, then she belongs with us. I want to take this time to thank you so much for joining us on this journey, for your time and for your presence, and I really look forward to seeing what we can all do here together. You'll be seeing me through video about once a week, and we'll be talking together about different aspects about trauma, different skills, different strategies that you can use to create and sustain a trauma-informed home. And each week you'll have a corresponding worksheet to one of these videos where you'll be developing your own skills. I encourage you to keep a journal with you. I encourage you to use this as an opportunity to reflect on your own growth in this home. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.